Hey bestie, welcome to my slumber party. Get comfortable for another character styling video. We are back in Tevat. We are on our way to Inazuma. We are sailing across the sea on the Crux with Beto, leaving the mainland on our way to the islands of Inazuma. I know I kept you waiting with this one, but my last video was an hour long, so I think I'm giving you plenty of content. But anyway, I don't want to make you wait much longer, so let's just get into it. So, Inazuma is a nation made up of multiple islands. It's based on Japan, and it's the nation of Electro, which is like electricity. And the god of this nation is the god of eternity, or goddess, should I say. We're getting our first female archon here. She has gone a little crazy, but I support women's wrongs. And that's all the background that I will give you on that situation, because I'm not talking about her in this video, so I will leave it for then. But anyway, let's get into it.
Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Now, it is time for me to honor my word! I await your instruction.
Kamisato Ayaka is the first girly today. She has a cryovision, and she actually is pretty cool because, she's leading this rebellion against the tyrannical archon ruler of this nation. And, she's kind of covert about it. She's working low key, but she is like a wealthy girly in the area. So she has a lot of sway. And she does make us do like all these little tasks before we actually get to meet her. We have to speak to her through a wall the first couple times we meet her. But after that, we like earn her trust and whatever, and we're friends. So it's cool. But yeah, so she is in charge of all the affairs of the Kamisato clan. She's the younger sister of her brother Ayato, who is also a playable character. And as far as her personality is concerned, let me just read you this on her wiki page, because beautiful, dignified, and noble, Ayaka has earned the title of Shirasagi Himejimi and is considered a model of perfection in Inazuma. Who wrote this? They obviously are just a little bit biased for her, but yeah, that basically just means that she's like kind of a princess, and she's the it girl. She's the Inazuman it girl, of course. So as far as her outfits, the girl is just very put together. Her style is a little bit girly and floral. Mostly, I'm thinking longer tea-length kind of skirts, but I think this dress is super cute too. So it can be a little bit short sometimes. And definitely some formal traditional wear, but I really like this skirt with the flowers here instead of just this gray one here. But I like the way that it kind of flows and sways around. And I love the collar, almost like lapel situation of this top here. And then this cute little suit outfit, and with the hair and the headband, it just all looks so perfect and put together. And I think it would like really suit her well. And in her design, she actually does have this little hairpiece, which is inspired by like the front of samurai helmets. So I think that's pretty cool. But I just want to give her like a lot of bows for her hair and more like soft girly things. She's not going to war in my little fantasy imagined scenario. So it's not necessary for her to wear a helmet. And then, of course, also her nails are always looking super perfect too. Now, I love this look a lot. I think just the colors are so beautiful and they complement each other so nicely. But, it's not really Ayaka's colors, but like I don't think she has to stick to that so much. I don't really even agree with the dark blue color for her. I like a more pastel, lighter color palette for her. So I've given her, a lot of dresses, definitely a lot of bows and flowers, especially like lotus flowers, which she does actually have within her design. They're, regarded as like a symbol of purity. because, they're like a beautiful flower that's rising out of the murky, gross water. So I think, it kind of works for her. It was also a little inspired by Chanel from Scream Queens. Obviously, they are nothing alike personality wise, but I just think they're kind of both very girly and like ultra wealthy. So the style kind of works for both of them. And then, of course, I've given her some tabbies, but like the cute ballet flat kind of versions, and maybe some Mary Jane heels, and then also some sandals like these with these flowers on them. They're super cute. I also really love this dress. It's just so delicate, and the fabric almost looks like a snowflake or something to me. I think it's really beautiful, so it just works so perfect for her. And the same for this little skirt set with the top, and also this bolero thing with like these beautiful sleeves. I think some peasant kind of cottagecore blouses with a nice skirt like this works really well for her. And then, the shoes and the socks with the bows on them. And then maybe sometimes a sweater with her skirts if it's a little cold out. But, most of the time she looks like she's going to have a picnic, or also she could be having like a big, serious business meeting, something like this. And I just love this look with the big bow necklace and even like her white hair and her bangs. It just looks so like Ayaka's design. And if she's wearing sandals like these, she has to have the tabby socks, of course. For some reason, I had such a hard time finding frilly tabby socks. So just imagine it's like these with the little frilly ruffles around the ankles, but they're tabbies. Am I getting too into this and giving like way too many clothing examples for all these characters now? Maybe. But if I'm going to do this, I might as well do it right and thoroughly. And I'm having fun with it. So I'm just going to keep going. These are probably just going to keep getting longer and longer with more and more slides. But if you like these characters, then like, why not? You love it, right? So here is just some more looks that I can definitely see Ayaka wearing. This white dress with this like beautiful, interesting neckline. I really love this, and like the way that it like covers up the neck a little bit. And a soft, girly picnic dress again, and this cute wintry sweater. I love an off the shoulder sweater. And another Chanel look, of course, but maybe she pairs it with a T-length skirt instead of like the pencil skirt. And I love the fabric of this dress and the blue color for her too, and everything. And then this dress with this kind of traditional obi style belt, I think is super beautiful. And she would definitely have some traditional aspects thrown into her designs. And also, all three of these looks I think are also beautiful and definitely work for her. I really love the flowers in the waistband on this one. I think this dress is just so beautiful. And then the little ribbon straps too. I would also definitely give her a ribbon necklace like this. And I think all three of these looks would really suit her nicely. I love a white look for her. And like I said, these kind of soft pastel-y colors. And again, I love the off the shoulder sweaters. So I paired this one with a nice like tulle pink skirt that's like just super puffy and big, and maybe some pretty little high heels underneath with some flowers on them or something. I also think this look is super cool with these big sleeves and the pockets on the skirt and this like interesting kind of kimono cross side top situation over the front, but like the neckline almost has this kind of traditional Chinese look to it. So I think it's kind of like, Ayaka is really traditional and she does love her country, but she doesn't want it to be isolationist anymore. Of course, she's working against that. She wants to explore other countries and other cultures, and she has like a little modern touch to things too. And then actually this look here kind of reminds me of Chevreuse and maybe like a Fontanian kind of style, And so maybe after she goes on her trip there, she can like start incorporating some more little designs like that into her wardrobe. For her night look, I think a cute little matching floral set like this, maybe it's even in silk or something, But I also really think this is super cute and just like a little bit more casual and fun and youthful and not like anything super richy crazy. And I just love the fluffy little slippers with it. They are just chef's kiss. And then for a coat, she is, kind of like winter princess. That's the vibe. So I love the fur trim on these. I think especially this one with the bottom and it kind of looks like a little flower or something. I think it's just so beautiful. And then also this cute little peacoat one with these like traditional Japanese sleeves and how, it matches the whole look. And it's just so cute and really beautiful. And it kind of is like the Ayaka version of the Yunjin coat that was like a whole one piece set that all worked together. I think, they kind of have similar vibes. Now, for her formal look, I was inspired by, kind of Ice Queen, Ice Princess vibes. Like, who as a kid was not obsessed with the Ice Princess and Shark Boy and Lava Girl? Like, it was a core moment in my childhood. Also, did you guys know that Japan literally has a princess? I just found that out when I was making this video. I'm sorry if that's common knowledge, but literally Japan has an emperor and a princess, and we're always talking about Meghan and Kate. Who the fuck about Kate? There's a Japanese princess. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe as well. Also, please don't cancel me for putting a picture on here from this movie that we will pretend does not exist still. But I just really like the way that they did her little ponytail things, and I think it kind of gives Ayaka's hair vibes. So it's just for the little ponytails in the front. Don't come at me. So, for her formal look, I love this dress as like the main inspiration. But then instead of being form fitting from the waist down, I just really love a big princess ball gown, of course. So I love the way that, on the top, this just looks like a fresh layer of snow, kind of like perfectly fallen and layered on a roof or something like that. And then it goes from that like perfect fresh snow look into this like beautiful flower petals kind of grading towards the skirt more. And it gets a little bit wider as it goes down. But I do want the neckline to be just straight across instead of having this like one shoulder situation. So I'm thinking, this thicker layer of where it's, kind of bunched up there is just, straight across the chest like this and like draped just a little bit off the shoulder. Like these two here, it's not just like tight, it's a little loose around the shoulder. And then I want the sleeves to end in this, middle finger point situation like that. And then, of course, her nails are perfect. I love both of these, especially like these icier blue ones, but then also with the little flowers on these ones. So, kind of a mix between the two. I think maybe they're like a little lotus or a sakura flower. I think would both be super cute. And then the back of the dress, I want like this big bow train like this. But it's not like such a saturated blue. It's just something not quite so opaque. It matches the fabric of the main dress, just like a not saturated version of this blue. It's not light blue. It's still this blue, but not saturated. So I love the detail on the bottom of this train as well. I just think it's so beautiful and it kind of can incorporate itself with that main skirt. And then actually within that blue bow, there's this pink bow. So you just barely see it peeking out of like the edges of the bow and maybe a little bit on the side going down, but also like it's that same saturation situation so that it all is cohesive and matches each other. And then for her shoes, I love these little tabby situations and then like the little bow on the back, but I want the shoe part to be pink and with little bows like this on them, but also more like this leathery kind of fabric instead of a vinyl. Personally, I just really do not like vinyl shoes. I just hate the texture of them. There's something like I don't want to touch them. So I'm sorry, I personally will not style her in them like that. Anyway, her hair is still, in her signature ponytail, but instead of her little helmet situation in the front, it's got this beautiful like ice princess tiara. And it could be, either one of these. I think they're both really beautiful, but I especially love this one. And then again, her little hair with the front little ponytails have these cute little white hair ribbons in both of them. I think would be super cute. It almost blends in with her hair, but it's still a little bit starker white because her hair isn't totally white. So you definitely can still see them. And then some soft little diamondy bow earrings I think are super cute. And I love this necklace. I think this is so cool. It's got like these pearls that are almost like being taken over by this molten gold. So I definitely want to give her a necklace that's something like this. Maybe it's a little bit more like this one in the kind of overall shape, just going more straight down as a chain like that, but obviously with this kind of molten metal design. So I'm just kind of imagining it carried down a little bit longer, I guess. And then she has a nice little fan to go with her outfit, of course, because she's like a respectable lady and whatever. And, maybe some pink little eyeshadow. I think that's super cute. And then also for the sleeves of the dress, I just love the idea of when she like picks them up underneath her arm, like going down, just like this here. They have this like whole icicle draping situation. I'm obsessed. So yeah, that's her look. And like the video. Thank you.
Do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Allow me to introduce myself. A festive reprise! I'm Yoimiya. Great to meet ya. Fire hazard!
Next up, we have Yoimiya. Yoimiya is the owner of her father's firework business that she's now taken over. She has a pyrovision and she's like super outgoing. She's so good with kids. She's kind of the opposite of Ayaka. But they're kind of on like the same scale. If like Ayaka is vanilla ice cream and Yoimiya is chocolate ice cream, they're both still ice cream. Everybody still loves them both. They're both super popular. Yoimiya actually was the queen of the summer festival, and like people are like, oh, the summer festival can't happen without her. She's like the it girl of summer. So, the girlies share the it girl title. And Ayaka actually kind of introduces Yoimiya to us as like our rebel contact to get in touch with to take down this tyrant Raiden Shogun. But she's not just a rebel. She's super playful and she's super fun and she's super childlike, and her closet reflects that. So I think just like a bunch of colorful patterns and designs and everything, it's just like all super playful and fun. She's kind of a little bit like Hu Tao in her design, but a little less of an alt girl kind of way and more of like an art ho kind of way. I just love this big shirt with a silly design on it and like some Bermuda shorts, especially with these firework like patterns. And, this vest with the fireworks on it, I think is super cute too. And I love these fun pants. And then she also has this kind of like goldfish, koi fish motif going on. So I really love this little dress with the goldfish on it. I think especially if she wore this with like a white t-shirt underneath and it's like this or something, it would suit her really nicely. Like something like this little tank top as well is just kind of her typical everyday look. And she could also have a little fish sweater like this for colder days. And now I think the consensus is that, she just has a sock and like armor plating on her leg. And that does make sense when she does her little combat moves and whatever. She does land on that leg a lot. But I think it would also be super cool if it was like a prosthetic. I know I've definitely seen some people think that it was a prosthetic. So I kind of wanted to add that into her design. I think when we have disabled characters in media. They're not able to be like lighthearted and fun. And I think, it makes people grow up super quickly sometimes, totally understandably. But I think it would be fun to see a disabled character that's still just like super lighthearted and not so serious and having to take on that adult role so young that they can still just be a kid at heart. So, yeah, if she has a prosthetic, I think that's cool too. And then her hair, it's just blonde. And I think it would be cooler if she had like these orange tips. So maybe that's like hard to animate or something, or they just weren't thinking of it when they designed her. But I think it would just like be a little detail that would really elevate her design. Now, I want to say a shout out to Joe Killer 77256 on Reddit because they made this whole outfit description for Yoimiya. Like, for whatever reason, I don't know who needed that. I guess they just needed to get it out of their system, which fair, I get it. But I appreciate it because it did give me like a little bit of insight into what her design inspirations were and everything. So thank you for that. Like, apparently, she was actually a little bit inspired by the sun goddess, Amaterasu, and she has these like big rope bows that she wears on the back. And these are actually sacred ropes in the Shinto religion. And in myth, they're used to keep the sun goddess tied, to keep her from returning to her cave, to like keep the sun out, I guess, which is cute. And these ropes are just like a symbol of purity and they're used in festivals. And I just think that's such a cute little detail for her. And, like I said, Yoimiya is the summer festival girly. So again, some fun Bermudas and shirts with like the little cartoony designs on them and patterned sweaters and some beaded necklaces, definitely. I love the embroidery for her pants like these and some funky stitching on her shirts too, I think is super cool. And then like patterned pants like these and these funky cargo pants as well, just with like a cute tank top or something. And then, maybe she even has like a fun Charizard shirt like this. I think this is kind of funny. But like, seriously, guys, $120 for this shirt? Like, what is even going on in the world of Pokemon right now? I don't know. It's just insane. Like, you guys don't even know about fashion. Why are you spending $120 on a shirt? But maybe my next series will be about Pokemon characters. That'd actually be really funny. I'm sorry, I don't care about Pokemon enough to actually do that, but it would be silly. Anyway, I also want to give Yoimiya some fun bucket hats because she does have like a million hair accessories in her hair design. So I think definitely she always has to have some kind of hairpiece and a bunch of necklaces and like also her nails. She just keeps them short, but she has fun with decorating them in crazy patterns like these. Now, I really love this top because it has, this beautiful sunset kind of design on it, but also the way that it's like split like that, it kind of reminds me of her off the shoulder kimono design. The top of her design is inspired by these like one-armed kimono looks that are for archers to have a better range of motion. And I just think that's super cool. And I love that detail. So I would want to have that kind of reflected in her wardrobe sometimes. Here's some more little goldfish motifs. And then, of course, some colorful Converse and other kinds of sneakers you could definitely wear too. And like I said, all these tank tops with like a white shirt underneath. And then she has a million charm bracelets and a million friendship bracelets and necklaces that she makes with all of her friends. Because she actually does have this little like butterfly necklace that she wears that apparently she got from Hu Tao. And I don't really know how they know each other in the game, but they're friends. So I love that. Maybe they're pen pals. I think that's cute. And she can also have some fun earrings and then maybe some charm bracelets that aren't just friendship bracelets. Maybe it's like a gummy bear charm bracelet. I also think this top is super cute and it has this kind of like chaotic sparkler art kind of style design to it that I like. And I think with an outfit like this, she could have like this cute, colorful rope belt like this to go with, the black and white pants and tie them in with this more colorful top just a little bit better. And Yoimiya is just a playful girly. She's out at the arcade with her friends. She's roller skating around. Maybe she has like fun Converse roller skates or some like personalized firework style roller skates. And I love this look with this fun hair and this oversized big ramen sweater and the leg warmers and everything. I think it's just a little cozy and a little boyish. Also, maybe she could wear a little sheer dress over her big shirts too. I think that would definitely work for her. And I think she would definitely do her makeup like this sometimes. Or, maybe she's just like babysitting and the kids do her makeup like this. But I think she's not afraid to have something look a little childish and just be fun. She's just living her life and enjoying it. Also, she does actually have tattoos, which I think is super cool. I'm not sure that Fischl has a tattoo, but otherwise, I don't know if I've talked about any characters that have a tattoo yet. We didn't even see Fischl's tattoo in what I talked about. But Yoimiya does have tattoos. But I think it would also be really fun for her to put on a bunch of temporary tattoos that, like, if this is a series, they change like every episode for her just to have like a couple of new ones every single episode scattered everywhere. I think would be kind of fun. And then I think if she were to wear something like this kind of simple retro dress, maybe she could pair it with like an obi belt and, the big rope bow in the center, I think would just be super cute. As I've said, I just really love this tank top over the t shirt vibe. And maybe if she's wearing a skirt, she pairs it with like a loose fitting top instead. And it's not really like body fitting or anything. And then also this dress, it just kind of gives me like art school apron vibes, which I think would be super cute for her. And then just some more fun pants and a one-sleeved shirt that I think really works for her with her design too. And like some rainbow stripy shirts I think are cute. Maybe some sun patterns, some funky hats, and some visors too. I think I love a visor for her. And I think it would also be really interesting for her to have some more like rope harness designs in her wardrobe. I think, they are kind of typically associated with like fetish wear. And I think she could kind of reclaim them for their religious purityness. And she wears it in this like playful, youthful, non sexual kind of way. So it's cute. Again, I love to imagine her hair with the orange tips and maybe even sometimes like a little bit of black at the very end of that. I think would be even cute too. I think she would definitely just kind of play around with it. It wouldn't be the same exact hairstyle every time. She's just kind of DIYing it. And maybe when she does her hair, she kind of throws it up into some fun, like 90s spiky bun styles. And she just has some fun braids and buns and whatever. And definitely some hair bows. And you know what? I think it's actually really interesting that for all the popularity of bows last year, we never saw anything that wasn't really a soft bow. Like, I saw definitely some crocheted versions, but they were always like these soft ribbons. I don't think I ever saw a bow that was like in a sturdier fabric. There were never rope bows. Like, we never strayed into that iteration of the bow trend, which I think we missed out on something there. The girlies decided that all of our bows were only made out of soft materials, period. Like, I just think we really didn't explore all the textures that we could have. And it was kind of like this undercurrent of just soft girlness that I think was, I don't know, I didn't like it. Like, I love girliness, of course, and I love the bows, but like, let's incorporate other things here too. It doesn't all have to be one plain trend. That's all I have to say about that. Anyway, Yoimiya would definitely also rock these like fun pants and a racer girl fiery tank top like this. And a skirt like this, I think is super cute with this kind of like art school girly designs. And again, with a belt, I think all of her belts basically could be made of rope in some form or another. It's actually kind of funny because after my last video, my mom texted me and she's like, "You called that belt rope? That was cording. Rope is what they use on boats." And I'm just like, Mom, rope is definitely used in fashion. It's not restricted to maritime activities. Like, Come on, girly. But back to Yoimiya. Here's some final looks for her. I think her closet is mostly pants, definitely, but maybe for like a party, she can wear a cute dress, maybe something that's just a little sporty, and then she throws like this big sweater over top of it, and also a dad hat too, I think definitely works for her. And then again, I love the temporary tattoos, especially some of these like Lisa Frank ones, I think are so cute. And some hair baubles. I love these. Also, this belt, I think it was actually part of like a cosplay or something, probably, but I just love the way that they made it out of this material. I don't know. I want to incorporate it somehow. I think it just looks so nice and like thick and comically large. And also, she's got to have some fun, funky tote bag. And I think this fish purse is just kind of insane and kind of perfect for her. Now, for her chill look, I thought just something like a pair of comfy pants, a little colorful, but paired with just a big shirt. Maybe it's got like gummy bears or Care Bears or some kind of like anime or something on it. And I also think this look is super cute too, with this like fun dress thing that also kind of has that rope situation vibe to me. And she's just chilling in it with a big shirt underneath. And then, she's just chilling with the girlies. They're like doing their nails or something. So I had to add this picture of the nails because I think they're so cool. Like, whoever did these, they are amazing. And they kind of work for her perfectly. So I wanted to give her them. And as for a coat, I think a red giant puffer is kind of perfect, but she can definitely have a lot of hoodies and some fun sweaters, and maybe even, again, something from that runway that I'm obsessed with. The chrysanthemums, the design, I think, like I explained for Kazuha, they really work for her too. She's also a force of nature. Now for her formal look, I really love this actually with these like fish looking skirt panels. I think maybe this is just something she could wear on the day to day actually, or just like for a party, especially if she's wearing it with like an oversized shirt. I think it would tone it down a little bit and she can just kind of like half tuck her shirt into this skirt. I mostly though was inspired by this look. I think this just kind of looks like a nymph koi fish goddess stepping out of the water, and like that's the vibe. So yeah, so I really love this dress. I think with this beautiful holographic gauzy organza fabric that kind of looks like it's burning when it hits the light, just like this, but then also it has this like blue tinge to it in other reflections of the light. So that's the vibe for the fabric. And for the design of the dress, I really love the idea of these kind of dresses with like the flow of movement. And then when you just kind of pick it up, it like flows and it kind of looks like fins mixed with like a little bit of a wing design. This kind of looks like it might actually be a hard fabric stuck in this position. So just, imagine that it's more like this one here, soft and flowy organza situation. And it just like, it's just in this position when it's lifted up. And then, when she moves her arm, it flows back down. It's not just like stuck up in this position. And it's just like made up of multiple layers that are kind of flowing over one another. And then I also love the back bow on this design and how it's just kind of one half of a bow like this. I think is really interesting because I'm imagining for this dress, it's like a one shoulder situation with the opposite shoulder having this big ruffly sleeve. So this one is here just to kind of, give you the vibe of the asymmetrical shoulder effect, but it doesn't look like that. It's more like this one, this kind of like similar holographic kind of fabric that it has here actually, but with many layers. So some of them are maybe matching a layer of fabric that's underneath the main bulk of the skirt of the dress. I love this big dramatic ruffly shoulder sleeve with the big bow on the back as one half, and they kind of match each other out because it's like one half big sleeve, one half bow in the back, and it balances out. And then over the top of the dress, I love the idea of like a little rope dress situation like this. I really love the patterning of this one, but maybe it's in red, so it's totally giving Suspiria vibes. And then underneath the dress, she has these cool platform flip flops. I am just obsessed with these. I think they are so cool. I was kind of like, how do you even walk in these? But I think they would like be locked in place with each other when your foot is in them because, like the thong part kind of connects the two pieces together and secures it in place. So your heel part isn't just like wobbling around, I think. But they're just super cool. And even like the fabric of the thong part is kind of giving like a fish scale vibe to me. So I think it all kind of incorporates well. And then I think, she doesn't have to wear stockings with this look, but if you want to elevate it all and put it all together, I think it makes sense for her too. So they are tabby socks, but they're just like the uneven one thigh high, one knee high, a little bit sheer black stocking like these. And then on the leg that's just a knee high length, this light blue garter with that. And it matches that light blue coloring in that fabric as well. For her makeup, Yoimiya definitely would do something that's like almost a little too over the top. It's just like a bunch of sparkles and like little stars in it, just like this, but it's super cute. And then I love this necklace that's like kind of looks like a firebird, but it could also definitely be a fish as well. I think even either way it works. And maybe like a singular earring that's just this kind of kitschy, campy little fish earring. And she has this like huge bauble in her hair as her character design. So it's kind of giving the effect of that as her earring. And then the other one, maybe just like a simple gold stud in the other ear. And then for her hair, I love some kind of like 90s updos like these. I love the crisscross design in the back of this one. And then like the looped updo for her orangey hair, because I think it would look super cool because she'd have like circles of orange just around her like main head of blonde hair. And I found this beautiful fish hair pin that can just top it all off. And like I said earlier, she does have a million things in her hair. So I did also put these little purple flowers and a bow on here too. I think maybe personally that's giving just like a little bit too much. It's getting chaotic, but that's kind of like the Genshin character's MO. So she can definitely wear all of these things in her hair at once if she wants to. Maybe like one or two little purple flowers that are like tucked into her little orange hair loopies. I think that might be cute. And finally, her nails, of course. She does still keep them fairly short, but they can have these like cool red and stars and fireworks and fish and butterflies and flowers design all over them like this, and they still look cohesive and it's super cool. Whoever did these, again, amazing job.
Yoimiya? Yoimiya か
正勝先生待たせてもうたな。畜生、あいつら好き勝手に。早く行くぞ。もしあいつらが戻ってきたら。
今回だけだ。重傷を負っている。連れて行って治療してやれ。だが、治療が終わり次第、必ずもう一度捕まえる。
次は、そう簡単にいかんと思うで。
ふん。さっさと行け。
The last girly for today is Kujou Sara, and now she is the opposition. She's like the fist of the Raiden Shogun. She's her number one fangirl. She kind of has hall monitor vibes, if I am going to seem a little hostile towards her. Making this has made me appreciate her. I think her design is definitely super cool, but I still don't like her. She's a Tengu, which is a kind of yokai. These are kind of like the Inazuman version of an adepti. They're maybe less immortal and more demon trickster kind of vibes. But a Tengu is kind of like a harpy. It's like a bird, human avian creature. So Sara does have these super dope wings. I really love the design of these. Tengu are actually associated with Buddhism and trying to like lure people off the path of enlightenment, which I think is kind of interesting because Sara is helping the shogun take away people's visions, which is kind of like taking away their enlightenment. But all of Sara's Tengu people were killed, I guess, or they're gone. They don't exist anymore. She's like the last one left. And she was adopted by like just some dude, but not just any just some dude, a rich just some dude. So, she still does give like only child loner vibes. And she just cares about training and being super strong and sucking her government's dick. And yeah, that's her vibe. Anyway, her design is super cool. But guys, for real, she was going to let everybody get their visions taken away, but she gets to keep her own because she has an electrovision. Like, don't be a simp. Anyway, her design is cool. I think the wings are really interesting, the way that they're like big on the bottom and they're little on the top. I'm not sure actually if that's because she got injured when like her Tengu people got killed or whatever. I don't really know what the lore is. But yeah, she can't fly, at least as a playable character, we can't fly with her, which I think would be really cool if when instead of using a wind glider, she could actually use her wings in that situation. I think that would be kind of interesting, but they didn't do that. So we just see her wings when she has her little idle animation and she pops them out. But I did also add her TCG card because I do think her little pose is cute. I like the way it kind of looks like she's like flying over you here. So she also wears this mask, which is based on the Tengu mask traditionally. But I think it's super cool because they had this like creative idea of making that instead of having that traditional long nose, it's like a bird's beak instead. I think that's really interesting. So for the rest of her outfit design, it's actually called Solemn Purity. It's described as a prim and proper garment that is worthy of an archon's devout servant. Yeah. Anyway, for her closet, she is just always super put together and mostly a lot of black and white. She's a very black and white character and a lot of traditional kind of inspirations in like a suit like form. I think this one's super cute and really interesting. And then also maybe even just like some military kinds of jackets like these. I think definitely she would wear them. And she does wear these geta that are so super hardcore actually. So I definitely want to give her some of these. I think they're super cool. And also she has a fan made of feathers, which I do really like a lot. And also the girlie is obsessed with the number 5. So maybe she does have a little bit of OCD. So, I will give the girl a little bit of slack for mental illness. But so here is what the traditional Tengu mask looks like, is the inspiration for her design. And then some other inspirations for her designs as well. She has this little pom-pom sash that is based on religious mountain ascetic hermits. And her little white crop top is actually based on these traditional hunting garments of Japanese nobles. So I'm kind of obsessed with the way that they interpreted that. And then, like I said, she wears these red Geta sandals, but hers are like the intense Tengu Geta that only have one tooth. So, like, they are the most hardcore. So, as I said, she is sleek, prim, proper, put together. I love some black suit looks for her, definitely. Maybe every once in a while we get like an interesting sleeve giving this little bird wing kind of vibe. And also, she is a military girly, so I think this skirt is super cute for her. But maybe instead it's paired with like a black obi belt and maybe just a black button down shirt. I think these two tops are super cute too, with like the harness situation, and they kind of have this like feathery look to them. So I think it's kind of perfect for her. And then maybe this is a little bit too sloppy for her, but I think the skirt and jacket set are going to keep it kind of interesting. And they also have that military chic kind of vibe. Or even this black jacket with the white dress underneath, I think is super beautiful, and it does look super prim and proper. But on the regular, I think definitely it's more of the black and white suit vibe, maybe sometimes a more traditional kimono vibe, and like mostly always with a geta style shoe. So I really love this for her. It's got that sleek and prim and proper vibe. And I just love the little bow. Oh, it looks so good. I think it's a dress, and I love that even more about it. I think a black suit similar to this, but maybe tailored and the legs a little bit better actually to fit her more, looking more prim and proper. Or it could be paired with like a pair of tall enough heels that it doesn't have to be tailored to be shorter. And like Yoimiya, actually, her weapon is a bow. So I think this is super cute and actually kind of reminds me of these archer situations, especially if this one was a little bit asymmetrical like that and it kind of went higher up on one shoulder and then sloped down. I think would kind of give that vibe. And this white feather top kind of fits Sara so perfectly. She could maybe just wear it with some black trousers or maybe Hakama type pants. And this white dress, I think definitely could work, especially if she paired it with that black military jacket from before. I think that would be super cute. I also really like this military chic kind of look. Maybe it's a little bit fashion forward for her, but I like it a lot. And also this, which I think is very interesting and could definitely work for her, especially if she paired it with these red Geta boots. And like I said, her outfit is inspired by some hunting garments. So since she also is a military girly, I did have to give her some camo pants. I really like this look. I think with the suit jacket, and if it's instead these more tailored pants, it would look super perfect and put together enough for her, especially with these pointy black pumps. I think it's such a look. Now, I am obsessed with this little number. I think it's super cute, but also definitely could be something that Sara would wear. And maybe if she pairs it with like some combat boots, even and like white knee high socks, I think definitely would work. I also think it would be really interesting for her to wear something like this old military uniform, but to pair it instead with like a thick black obi belt and maybe just a black turtleneck underneath. So we take away that tie and that belt. So it kind of takes away some of the distinct connotation with it being kind of European looking, and kind of the juxtaposition is interesting. And also pairing it with these black Geta boots, like it would totally be such a look. I also really love these military armor kind of style corsets. I think maybe this one, but if it were in black or even in white, and then she could pair it with this long belted black skirt and have these red heels underneath, I think would be super cute. Another kind of skirt she could wear is something like this kind of diagonal skirt and jacket set, I think is super cool, but maybe in her signature black with like white details instead of blue with black details. And I think this jacket and the skirt are cute, but again, with that black obi belt instead, it would look a little bit less busy, also with her hair just being short and out of the way. And without the bag, it would keep it all looking solid. And then maybe when she's just training, she can wear something like this little coverall set. It's a little bit simple, but I love the touch of red with this ascot on it. For the last few looks, I really love this military-esque dress that I think is like wool or something, but I don't know, it's kind of giving me like Spartan Roman warrior vibes. I think it was in a museum and I don't know the context, but that's what it's giving to me. And then again, to pair it with these red Geta boots, I think would be so cool. Or maybe even something like red stockings or red little socks with these kind of wedges. And I also really love this white capey kind of thing. I think she could also wear it if it were just like a crop top stopping here, and some more haute couture military looks that I think she could totally wear while doing her hall monitor ass kissing duties. And that's all for her closet because I didn't give her pajamas. I don't know, she sleeps in uniform or something. And I don't feel a need to give every single character pajamas anyway. I'm probably going to kind of stop doing that. So, onto her formal fit. Basically, it's this dress, which I think is super cool and actually just totally perfect for her. But I am mostly obsessed with like the sleek, structured skirt and the kind of traditional samurai looking bodice almost. I do think the sleeves are really cool, but I'm going to change them up a bit, of course. So I'm imagining something more like this, like a little flatter on the clavicle and then a little flared just over the shoulder, but still with that red on the bodice reaching up. But then it's just red stitching between these two layers around the shoulder and around the seams here, I think would be really cool. And then the neckline of it actually being a little bit higher to almost be like a choker with this little loop here for her like big gold family crest medallion. And then the belt part just being a little bit sleeker with this black leather obi kind of style instead. And the other shoulder, again, it's with this all symmetrically on both shoulders, but over one, she has this golden bird wing. I just think this is so cool, and it kind of gives like the vibe of an armor shoulder plating thing. And I like the little gold chain of it attaching around the waist too. I think that little chain can just drape a tiny bit and have maybe this little detail as like a little charm at the end of that chain. And then she has to have some arm warmers, like these leather black gloves. Over one, there's this big gold cuff, not the bracelets here, not these, just the big gold cuff. And then on the other, it turns into this interesting one finger gold metal handpiece thing. I think this is super cool. And then her nails are out, of course, and they are very simple, but they're like crow talons. And like, I'm just so obsessed with these. I want them. I need them to be like my everyday nails that I just have, and they're not fake nails, they are my nails. And then for her hair, it is short, so there isn't like that much we could do with it, but I think this metal detail is super cool and it definitely works for the fit. And then I actually found this insanely cool hair fork that is carved into this Tengu mask design. I found this on Etsy. It's by Aunt Sar Tea Wood Carvings. So I will tag them below because I totally just ripped this off of their store. But they definitely deserve some love because their carvings are like super cool and really intricate and just really beautiful. So go check them out. And yeah, so Sarah also has that in her hair on one side. And then her makeup is sharp. You know, it's like black eyeliner, which is also kind of giving me this crow talon vibes. I just really love this because she is like a crow girly. Like Fischl is the raven, Sarah is the crow. And I had to add a picture of her wings because I actually did give a lot of consideration to giving her a backless dress so that her wings could be present. But she has this full turtleneck underneath this like little white piece here, and her wings just like pop out through her shirt. So I guess that doesn't matter. But I did want to adjust the back of this one here just a little bit so it's maybe more cohesive with this upper part that I've changed it to. So the back is kind of the same as this stripped leather piece here going down into the back. I'm imagining, again, you know, the shoulders are flush, but then the back is like all this leather striped situation. So she does have these like little bars of open area where the wings kind of could come out through. And finally, the shoes. I think maybe since she wears the geta all the time, maybe for once, she wears something that are a little bit easier to walk in and dance in, like heels like these. I think they would definitely work for Sara. And if you happen to recognize them and know that they are half pink on the other side, no, you don't. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and also she has this little red ribbon arm cuff on her bicep on just one arm, looking something kind of like this. And that's it. I want to say this will hopefully be shorter because it is the least amount of characters that I've done in a video so far. But as I'm recording this and seeing the time add up, I don't know if that's going to happen. Apparently, I just never shut the fuck up. So you'll know how long it is. But I have been working on my next video already. It's basically been happening at the same time as this one, so hopefully it really won't be a long wait for that one. But you know, I will just stop making promises about that because I feel bad if I don't deliver. I have nobody beholding me but myself. So anyway, I really appreciate you watching this video. Please leave a like and a comment. Tell me which character styling you like the most. Tell me if you also have a grudge against Kujou Sara. Let me know if for some reason you're really into me doing the pajama styling. Either way, let me know. And subscribe. There's 13 of us now at this slumber party, so I'm kind of obsessed with that. Don't ruin it by making it 14. But like, if you're really excited to be here and you really want to watch my next video, you can make it 14 if you really want to. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate you being here. The slumber party will continue in the next one. But for now, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye.